Scotland's victory over Samoa wasn't the only story on Saturday. Sean Lamont came onto the field for his 100th cap. And here's some moments from Sean's illustrious career. First question, James, after what was a very physical game yesterday, what's the status of the squad at the moment?
In a fantastic mood, but body-wise I would think that everybody that took part in yesterday's game is feeling something this morning.
And that's just due to the nature of the game, but also I suppose the knock-on effect of having so many games in a short period.
I think it's twofold. Many of the players are saying that was an even more physical game than the South African game, and I think from my observations that's true. And that's the third game in 10 days. That's quite an ask in a World Cup situation.
I suppose your watchword over the last 3 months has been kind of always vigilant, always on the lookout. How have you found that build-up period and the competition period? Has there been a difference between the two phases?
No, not really. You know, as medics, we're always on the lookout for illness and injury. Sadly, that's why we're here. So the slightest cough or sniffle, somebody, just not looking quite right, saying they're just not feeling well, that's acted on straight away. Likewise at pitch side, it's an incredibly physical, fast-moving environment, and you've just got to be vigilant. So we've got medical staff on both sides of the pitch. That's standard nowadays, but we keep up with play and we look out for signs. If you've got any doubts such as concussion, then we've got the ability to take them off and assess them. If you go on and they're unable to carry on, then very quickly you alert the coaching staff and they get a replacement on. We've got to be mindful of getting the best out of players, not allowing them to continue beyond that.
I know there are a lot of fans who perhaps are unclear as to what the HIA procedure is game time.
Yeah.
Could you kind of just...
It's quite complex, but in essence what you're doing is you've got the ability at elite level that if you have a question mark over somebody's status, they've got a blow to the head, they were a little bit slow to get off the ground, you can actually get them off and you can review the video footage, and then you can ask them a whole battery of questions and do some physical tests and determine whether it's reasonably safe to put them back on. You then keep an eye on them, and then after the match you reassess them again through another battery of tests, and then there's always the chance of so-called delayed concussion. So we do that process after they've had a couple of nights sleep.
In terms of scheduling for the coming week, do you work in conjunction with the coaches to say, well, do you know what, that's a recovery session, that would be good if we could have a little bit more recovery there? How does that process work?
It's a group decision. It's largely the recovery is led by strength and conditioning with medical input, and then that's put towards the coaching staff as well. They know what they need to get out of the week vis-a-vis training, and therefore they can modify the week if necessary. But we plan this well in advance, and of course we tend to stick to our plans unless something knocks us off schedule. And looking at when we might have sessions has been given with worst case in mind.
I know you're someone who very much focuses on his task and his job, but can you explain your emotions yesterday in that game?
It's a true cliche. It was a roller coaster of emotions. I saw Samoa playing like I know that they could play, and that was disappointing. I was hoping that they would be below par. I thought our boys stuck in tremendously well. There's always that thought of here we go again, because we've been on the receiving end of some very cruel luck. I think in that last minute or two where the players were keeping the ball very close in, very controlled, very measured, no panic, and then to kick the ball out after time had elapsed, that is just such a relief. And then you turn to your compatriots and it's just celebration time.